Hey guys, Al Poulin here from Party Time DJ Services with yet another active speaker review, or more precisely, a new active subwoofer review. This time we're looking at Yamaha's DXS12 MKII active sub, or subwoofers I should say. As many of you know, I've been using the original DXS12 subs for a little over 5 years now, usually combined with my little DXR8s. Up top, they're a great little combination, great for mobile DJs. I've always loved this combination. Sounds fantastic, and it's good for parties, wedding type events, all the way up to 250 people or so. As mentioned, I've always been enjoying my DXS12s, but when I saw that Yamaha had an MK2 version, or a new and improved version, well, I just had to test. And seeing as the holiday season is upon us, and at the same time the end of the fiscal year, and I always like to have some, business expenses I can deduct off my taxes. So maybe this year a subwoofer upgrade is in order. So I decided to test these and really compare them, the version 1s to the version 2, to see all the improvements that Yamaha has done to the DXS12s. Let's have a quick look at the specs first of all. So as we see, 1020 watts of Class D power. Now that translates into 800 watts continuous. And that's actually 200 watts higher than the original DXS12s. But we also have a noticeable increase of 3 decibels from 131 dBs to 134 decibels. Now this is through a combination of different cabinets, also porting and increased power. So that basically that 3 dB increase is as if you take the original DXS12 and basically double the applied power. And that gets you an extra 3 decibels, so that's always good. I've never had a problem, to be honest, with the version 1s. I've never really run out of headroom, and I've rarely ever seen the limit light blink. But hey, 3 extra decibels of headroom is always appreciated, so there you go. So an extra 3 dBs. DSP protection now. As many of you know, the Yamaha speakers, most active speakers, are designed in collaboration with Nexo, which is a high-end speaker manufacturer. So you got some very clever, very advanced DSP protection and processing to make sure you can get the most out of these little subs. Now in these subs is actually a 12-inch woofer in a very nice box. That's one thing, the first thing I noticed is the design is very, very different. You'll notice that the old versions actually kind of match perfectly with the tops, which is a great thing to have aesthetically. But these new Yamaha subs, I wasn't sure about the look at the beginning because it was just so different from the original ones. But I'm really starting to like them. And to be honest, the material here is just fantastic. It feels, more durable, less susceptible to scratching and damage than the old ones were. I think the design looks a little bit more industrial. It looks tough. It looks nice and clean too. One thing I really love is this big Yamaha logo, because when you're using good quality equipment and you want your clients to know that you're not using crap, so most people, as soon as they see that Yamaha logo, whether it be on a snow machine, a 4-wheeler, or on a loudspeaker system, they know that you didn't cheap out and you didn't buy cheap Chinese crap with no warranty and that you bought on discount. So the Yamaha stuff, yes, a little bit more expensive, but you know what? As they say in the pro sound world, buy once, cry once. Spend a little bit more, get a little bit more quality, and it's a better investment for you in the long term. And that takes me to my next point, is the warranty. When I got these, the first thing I noticed on the box is there's a big silver sticker that says 7-year warranty. Now what that tells me is that if a manufacturer is willing to put a 7-year warranty on their products, to me that says that, you know what? These things are well built. They're using quality transducers. They got excellent protection. And if the manufacturers weren't ready to back it with 7-year warranty, you know that these things are built well. They're built to take it. So that's another big plus for me. But I think okay, DSP protection. DX sub down to 42 Hertz. Now that's a minus or plus 10 dB spec. The old version 1s went down to 47 minus or plus 10 dBs. So that's decent, respectable for a 12-inch sub. You have to remember, these aren't 15s or 18s. These are a compact 12-inch sub. So for 12-inch subs, I think you'll be pretty surprised at what they can do. Let's have a quick look at the control panel in the back here. Very similar to the originals. You have the all XLR ins and outs, limit protection and power light. You also have the front LED disable if you don't like that. See, the white light in here is see right there at the bottom there, you can see it. So you can disable that if you don't like having lights on your speakers. You can invert the polarity right here. You also have something brand new this year, cardioid mode. Now basically this is useful if you're using multiples of these speakers or subs. 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. What you'll do basically is if you say you have 3 of them, you'll have 2 facing towards the normal way, and you'll have one that's reversed. Kind of like if you would have 2, I guess you'd have something like this where you'd have one facing the back and one facing the front. Basically what the cardioid mode does is when you're using multiple subs, it's trying to get that, you know, when you're on a stage or in your band, it's trying to get all that low frequency energy away from the stage and more into the crowd. And that's basically what cardioid mode does when you're using multiple subwoofers. Not necessarily all that useful for a DJ, because if you're a DJ and your subs are exposed like this, you won't want to have wires visible and all that. But for a band situation where you're using multiple subs and you want to get the maximum output and you want to get as much of that sound as possible onto your dance floor and into your crowd, that's what that cardioid mode is for. Now let's look at the sound settings. Now you have the normal, boost, and the extended low frequency. Now I've been using the DXS12s for over 5 years. I've always used the extended low frequency because let's face it, these are 12-inch subs. You're not going to get the deep bass you get from a good quality 15 or 18. But if you use that extended low frequency mode, it's processed to get you as much as that lower energy frequency as possible, and it just makes the sub sound more musical to me. Bandpass subs have typically been said to sound one notey or to have a strong response in a certain range of frequencies, say from 60 to 80 hertz. But when you click that extended low frequency button, it actually gives you a little bit more extension at the bottom end, which is appreciated, especially with playback music. In a band situation, you might want to use that boost or that normal, just because the normal and the boost will probably be highlighting those frequencies between 70 and 90, which is where the kick drum is usually, and you'll want to boost that. So different settings, different applications. One notable added feature that I have this year is you see you have the through outs. That's for your outputs that are going to your tops. You can have the same signal going to your tops as the one coming in. Or let's say you're not using Yamaha tops for whatever reason. I'll just give the example. I do have some RCF tops, which are excellent, but they don't have a high pass filter. So when using with subs, I was never able to cross them over and get the maximum mids and highs out of them. Now, if I wanted to use my RCFs, I could use the HPF post, which is a high pass filter, that would send a filtered signal up to my tops. You can send everything 80 hertz and up, 100 hertz and up, or 120 hertz and up for the smaller tops to your tops. And that lets you get the maximum output from them in the mids and the high frequencies. And that's what you want. And that's why you have subs. Subs are there to design to, you know, handle low frequencies and get your tops, let your tops get as loud, as clear as possible. Like these little DXR8s, they're very good full range, but as soon as you cross them over and you have them just reproduce 100 hertz and up, they will get noticeably louder and clearer than if you're running them full range. So that's just something to keep in mind. So that's one awesome new feature that Yamaha's added with these MK2 versions of the DXS12s. Another cute little bonus is these little these snap-in IEC cables. Actually locking IEC cables. So that's locked into place. Someone trips on your wire, at least you're not going to get, you're not going to lose your sound. Take them off, you just need to press in, pull them out. But they're basically locking IEC cables. Nice little bonus. A lot of these features and things exist because the Yamaha's, I think, is taken a lot from the DXS18 subwoofer, very popular. Although a little bit too big for myself, but they've used the actual power section, which is the 1020 watts. All three, the DXS12, DXS15 MKIIs, and the DXS18 use that same power section. And they've just implemented a lot of those features that were in the DXS18. They've put them in the new MK2 of the DXS12, so just a more added value for you, for the user. Another bonus that's very interesting is you can actually add casters to these. You can add wheels if you don't feel like carrying the 66-pound woofer sub. And that's another nice feature. As mentioned, for me, the old DXS12s were roughly 73 pounds. I think it's like 72.8, but let's say 73 pounds. These new ones at 66 pounds. It's just a 7-pound weight difference, but when you have to go up and down stairs, like myself, 7 pounds to 7 pounds, and you can actually feel it. So just that in itself was a nice bonus for me to warrant the upgrade. That, the high-passed outs, but you can also get the, as mentioned, the casters, and there are covers available for it as well. So all that, add the 7-year warranty. Like I said, I bought these about 5.5 years ago. I still have a little bit less than 2 years, but a nice 7-year warranty might be good as well. So that is a big bonus to me. So sound-wise, I did test them. I did take them out to 2 different events. Both were had between 150 and 200 people, and both were in combination with my DXR8s. One was a 40th anniversary in a very big hall. I was up on the stage actually, and the other one was for a daycare center. They had an awards night for their workers. So both events between 150 and 200 people. For the subs and the tops, I had them both at Unity or at full, I forget, but they were exactly the same level. They seemed perfectly matched. I boosted the lows just slightly on my mixer, and the highs just slightly as well, or my mids, I forget which one, but didn't need much EQ to sound great. I ran the system as hard as I could without getting people pissed off, and quite honestly, I didn't see any limit lights at all, either from the subs or the tops. So that's just telling me that I had ample power for the 150 to 200 person crowd there. So like I say, for most mobile DJ applications, I really don't think you can go wrong with the DXR8s over DXS12 subs, or even better with the DXS12 MKII subs. They do an improved version. For smaller events, I still use I have my DXR15s. And they are awesome for standalone events, anywhere from 150 people or less. But like I say, the original subs have been awesome for me. So the MKII version can only be better. So yeah, sound wise, I did compare them, the version 1s to the version 2. I honestly, in spite of the 42 to 47 hertz difference in the specs, I'm sure it's a measured spec and I'm sure it's accurate, but my ears, I didn't honestly hear a big difference. I wouldn't justify the upgrade from the version 1 to the version 2 just because of the sound quality or the fact that it goes a little bit lower. Most people are not going to hear that difference, and I'll be honest, like I said, I'm always honest in all my reviews. I did not hear a big difference. Output wise, honestly, I've very rarely ever seen the limit lights on my version 1, so I doubt that I'd see those limit lights in the version 2 as well. One little thing I noticed with a lot of the Yamaha speakers, the active stuff, is that by the time that you do see that limit light blinking, it is time to bring down your volume just a bit, because usually when that limit light is blinking, the box is actually pretty much at the limits of what it can do, and you can actually hear it starting to break up slightly. So as I said, often you'll say that it takes a lot to get these boxes to limit, and I agree that it does, but I think it was set this way so that basically the user can get as loud or as much sound out of the boxes before it actually starts to indicate the limiting. So just be aware of that. Whether it be with the tops or subs, like I say, once you see that limit light blink, you need to reduce the volume slightly. Probably wouldn't cause any problems. I just don't like hearing speakers starting to not struggle, but you can tell that they've really gotten the most out of the boxes they can. And I guess that's a good thing, because when you purchase a speaker, I don't like to babysit a speaker. I have to constantly watch the limit lights, and that's one thing since I've been using the Yamaha DXR and DXS subs, that I'm happy I don't have to babysit my speakers anymore. They so rarely ever do they blink, and usually when my tops blink, it's when I'm doing karaoke and I'm singing really loudly, and when I'm doing karaoke, I don't have any compression on my vocals. That's pretty much the only times I've ever seen the limit lights blink. So that's a good thing for you DJs or live sound guys that don't like to babysit speakers. One great thing about the Yamahas. But anyway, all this to say, although I didn't hear a big difference sound-wise between the MK1s and MK2s, all of the other features, including the lower weight, higher SPL, nicer, more durable finish, beautiful Yamaha badge, the available casters and covers as well, and the high pass, variable high pass out. Also the cardioid. It's all little bonuses that really, to me, make it worthwhile. These retail at $7.99 in the US and $9.99 in Canada with the 7-year warranty. So really, it's a no-brainer. Buy once, cry once, spend a bit more. You can buy Altos, you can buy American Audios, you can buy all that MKIIs, all that cheap crap. But, they're most likely to be in landfill in 5 years while the Yamahas are still going past their 7-year warranty. So that's my official recommendation. Just buy the best stuff you can. And as said, Yamaha, to most people, it just means quality. And I've been using the Yamaha DXR and DXS for over 5 years. Not a single hiccup, nothing negative to say about them. So highly recommended. Yamaha DXS12 MKII. If you have any questions, any comments, anything, please feel free. I'll be happy to answer your questions for you. Have yourself a great day, and Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, because it's happening soon. Have a good one, guys. Bye-bye.